It started as a faint crackle, a static whisper that seeped into the quiet of my living room. I had been half listening to the radio, letting the soft hum of old music drift through the house as I sorted through an endless stack of paperwork. The hour was late. Shadows clung to the corners, and the world outside my window was a blanket of darkness. That's when the music cut out. The static hissed, then sharpened. Suddenly, an unfamiliar voice emerged, garbled and urgent, layered with a distortion that made my skin prickle. The message was brief, but chillingly clear. This is an emergency broadcast. Shelter in place. Do not attempt to leave your home. Do not let it know you're awake. It has already entered. I froze, the pen slipping from my hand. My heart thudded in my chest as the silence returned, heavier than before. I waited, staring at the radio, expecting the music to resume or the announcer to apologize for a technical error. But there was nothing, only silence. I pressed the dial, flipping through every station, static, talk shows, late-night jazz, but no mention of an emergency, no repeated warning. Just the world, carrying on as if nothing had happened. I reached for my phone, scrolling through news apps, social media, emergency alerts, nothing, not a single mention. My hands were trembling, a cold sweat gathering at the back of my neck. I texted friends, family, even posted in neighborhood groups, asking if anyone else had heard the broadcast. The replies trickled in, confused and dismissive. Are you okay? Maybe you dreamed it. Nothing on my end. But I knew what I'd heard. The words echoed in my mind, each syllable etched with dread. Do not let it know you're awake. I glanced around the room, suddenly hyper-aware of every creak and settling sound in the house. My own breathing sounded too loud. I dimmed the lights, moving carefully, as if something unseen was already watching. The hours crawled by. I kept checking the windows, peering into the darkness, half expecting to see a shape moving between the trees. Shadows seemed to stretch and shift, the familiar contours of my home warped by fear. The house felt different, heavier, as if something else was sharing the space with me. At 2:13 a.m., I heard footsteps in the hallway, slow, deliberate. My heart stuttered. I held my breath, listening as they paused just outside my door. The air was thick, the silence oppressive. I remembered the broadcast's warning and fought the urge to move, to run. Instead, I lay still, feigning the deep, measured breaths of sleep. The footsteps lingered, a presence pressing against the thin barrier of my bedroom door. A faint scraping sound, a hand or something like it, exploring the wood. I squeezed my eyes shut, forcing myself to remain motionless. Minutes passed, stretched to eternity, until the footsteps finally receded. Morning came, pale and hesitant. The world outside seemed unchanged, but nothing felt safe anymore. I checked the news again, desperate for validation, for any sign that I wasn't alone in this. Still, there was nothing. The silence from others was deafening. Now, every night, I listen for the broadcast. I keep the lights low, pretending to sleep as soon as darkness falls. I don't know what's out there or why I was the only one to receive the warning. But I know this. Something is coming. Something is already here, inside the places we think are safest. And as the days pass and the nights grow longer, I wonder how much longer I can keep pretending. How long before it realizes I'm still awake.